All right. Welcome back. It's Friday. Option Genius Show. Woohoo! November 14th, 2025. My name is Alan Sama. I'm here, of course, with Mr. Matt D'Ambrosi, my partner in crime. We're from Option Genius, where we teach people how to trade conservative option strategies for income and account growth. And really, they're a lot of fun.
That's a lot of fun. Of course
They're
it
a
is.
lot of fun. Part of it is because they just win, right? They win most of the time. So it's like, I win. Oh, I win again. Oh, I win again. Eventually you get bored of the winning. Really? Like,
And it can make you complacent, right?
it can make you complacent. It definitely can.
You don't want to
Uh,
be.
no. And then that way you have to play mind games with yourself to keep yourself like focused and because it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this and the trade's gonna win. Okay, I'm gonna do this and the trade's gonna win. All right, I'm gonna put this trade on and it's just gonna win. And it's like, oh no, any trade could lose at any time. The risk is always there, but we kind of fall asleep.
Yeah. So to get a really nice streak going, that's great and everything, but be aware, right? That's how
Hmm.
things
Yep. I'm watching this show on Paramount. It's 1923.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. That's a good one.
You saw that? Yeah,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the middle show for Yellowstone.
Right. I binged them all.
Yeah, so they have Yellowstone, which is the like 6 or 7 seasons, and then they came out with 1823 and then 1923. So I'm watching 1923, and there's one episode where the guy jumps on a train, and there's a couple hobos on the train, and they're like, "Hey, you need to pay us the tax, the train tax." And he's like, "I'm not paying you nothing." And there the guy's like, "Well, just wait. The train, just a rocking. I haven't seen anybody be able to stay awake on the train when it's rocking back and forth, back and forth." So that's kind of like what our trains are like. It's just like you're putting them on and just rocking, and you're like, okay, I'm awake, I'm awake. No, no. Oh, I'm awake, I'm awake. I got it, I got it.
For a week like today, you don't have to be. You're not falling asleep,
Oh,
right?
today's a roller coaster.
Oh, this whole week.
the,
Whole weeks have been a roller coaster.
the whole week, yes,
Up and
yes, it
down.
is.
Yeah.
So like today, SPX is it's up 6 points, 0.1%, but it was down at the open.
Did you see the
Uh,
pre-market on that? It was like, okay, here we go. It was like a repeat of yesterday.
pre-market it was down like 0.5%, and
Yeah.
then it opened, and then it jumped up, and then now it came back down, then it went negative as soon as we logged on it was negative, and then now it's popping up again. The rut's up 3.3%, oil's up 2%, and this is the high, the big one for today. Nasdaq is 0.3% up. Dow Jones is down. Gold is down more than 1.5%. VIX is at 20.
The VIX is moving up. Yep.
VIX is increasing, even though the market's up. VIX is still going up, and Bitcoin is at 95,000.
Hit its
So,
low. Yeah.
yeah, it crossed the 100,000 K mark and continues to move lower. We'll see how that impacts everything, but it does seem like that trade for now is over. If it doesn't hold, it could go down much lower. So, and it's funny because um, there were what we call it, the articles and news reports coming out that there are people that are betting really, really big on Bitcoin to go down.
A lot of
And
short sell. Yeah. Right.
yeah, so I mean, I guess it's true because Bitcoin is way different, right? Because you can actually borrow money to trade Bitcoin. So you can be trading 10 times your account size, 50 times, 100 times account size. And so some of these guys, they've made a lot of money. They made millions and millions of dollars by taking big risks. And if it pays off, then hey, yeah, you can make a lot of money real quick. But then you get used to betting that big. And so there's a couple big whales that had
On
some
both
pretty
sides of it,
big
right?
shorts on it. Yeah. So I'm thinking like, maybe the size of the market is still, you can still push it around. If there's a few big players that they can push it around and because there's not that many buyers at this point.
Oh, it's got a market cap of what, 3 trillion? Somewhere in
Yeah.
there. 2 to 3. So
Yeah.
it's maturing, but yeah, I'm sure there's some big people in there and pushing it around for sure.
Yeah.
But it is interesting with Bitcoin. It's really, if you think about it, it's only what 24/7 market, right? There's nobody. It's always moving all times of the day.
Hmm. Yeah, all the little crypto
And sometimes
one.
it kind of leads you, if you watch it, it kind of tells you what's going to happen with the equity market. Sometimes
I mean, that's
trades like the
something,
Nasdaq,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's
Hmm.
something that's kind of new and something we need to really keep an eye on to see how often that happens. But if that is true, then equity markets are heading lower.
Yeah. Well, you think about it, people in Bitcoin, if they get into trouble, the first thing that you would probably logically sell if you had it, you'd be like, okay, I got this Bitcoin, I'm going to sell that first.
Hmm.
You know, most people would probably be on that line of thinking. So,
Yeah. You know, these most of the trades in Wall Street are done by computers. They can be done in split seconds. And so when it's time to sell, yeah, they hit the button and the computer hits the button. The not real button, but the computer
right.
does the program to just sell everything.
And
And
just, just
it's a
you know.
self-fulfilling prophecy. So but the AI trade seems to be in a little bit of trouble. Um not jumping up. And what'd you think about the market? Like, we had the shutdown end yesterday and the market closed down.
Yeah, it really is interesting because the majority of people were like, okay, as soon as we have this shutdown, where it's not shut down anymore, the market's just going to resume up, right? And it didn't happen. So everyone's kind of like, I really think kind of centers around the Fed, right? They're really kind of thinking whether they're going to have a cut or not. They don't have the right reports that have come out. They don't have access to the information. So it's kind of up in the air, which is making a lot of people nervous. And then you have people that are like, okay, AI is a real boom, and the other people on the other side of the fence are like, okay, is it really, are we in a bubble, right? So people kind of think back to the past. Are we into like a 1999, 2000 bubble? What are we in? What kind of environment are we in? So there's people on both sides of this fence right now, trying to figure that out. So,
And then we're also heading into basically the end of the year, right?
mhm.
So November's half over. We got a month and a half. I'm looking at the calendar and I'm like, oh man, Thanksgiving. It's gonna be right here. You know?
Yeah, it's supposed to be quiet, right? Usually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know we have most of the earnings are over. We have
Yep.
some retail earnings next week. Probably like Home Depot, I think, is having earnings next week, things like that. So,
So
a lot of
earnings, Nvidia is the big one that's still left,
right,
right?
NVIDIA, of course, the big one,
Yeah.
right? Everybody, I think, will be paying a little bit more attention to that one than they would if the market was doing wonderful.
Yeah. Especially because it's been hit or miss depending on the company.
Yeah.
So, and then you do have the Fed meeting on the 10th, which is going to be really the catalyst. It's either going to send the market higher or lower based on what they say.
So
And
we're gonna have the Santa Claus rally or we're not.
like at this point, there's it's like 50-50. Nobody knows.
Right?
Nobody knows at all. The government came out yesterday and they're like, the October reports for CPI and employment. Yeah, we're probably not even going to have those. We're not going to even worry about it.
They're not valid to them, right?
So we're only going to do November reports. So we'll have those. And some of those reports, at least one of the reports, is going to be available the second day of the Fed meeting. Like right before their press conference, they might come out or something
He's
in the
gonna be like
morning.
reading it right before. He's gonna be like, yeah, okay, what we're gonna say now is
Yeah, we're going to change it up a little bit. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah. And then we have the Fed peakers coming out and talking, and um, some of them have said, yeah, we don't see a need for it. So that's
yeah,
kind of concerning. Uh,
yeah,
you know,
quite a few actually. I think there's two or three that are like, we don't need to cut. We shouldn't cut.
yeah, and I think this time, like up till now, I'm going along with them, and I'm like, yeah, they know what they're doing. They've done a good job. If they don't cut here, I think they're going to be behind the curve. I think they're falling behind. Because yeah, inflation is still a little bit elevated. Um, but I think the jobs cuts
I
are
agree.
coming faster and faster, and if they don't do something now to help the economy, 2026 is not going to be a good year.
Yeah, I can see that. The jobs, the numbers are definitely deteriorating, right? AI is going to have effect. It's going to have effect into next year. So I agree.
hmm The foreclosure numbers are going up. More and more homes are in foreclosure. The auto loans delinquencies have been going up steadily. Credit card delinquencies are going up steadily. And so, you think about it, it's like, okay, we need more money in the economy, right? We need people to spend. That's basically what keeps the economy going.
It
If
is. It's true. It's very true.
if nobody's spending, then nothing's happening. And so where are we going to get the money from? And I think that there's all this money trapped in people's homes, like you got a 2%, 3%, 4% mortgage.
Just
You don't
sitting
want
on it.
to you don't want to get a equity loan. You don't want to refinance. You don't want to take that money out and use it. And really you don't know what you're going to use it for. So, um, if the rates do go down, I think people that money will start freeing up, and we'll see a little bit of a inflow into the economy. Um, the only people that are really spending is these, they call them the hyperscalers, which are all the AI guys
Mhm.
that continue to build out data centers and buying chips and whatnot. And they're raising money. So like, Facebook and Microsoft and Apple, they've all gone into the public markets to sell bonds, and it has worked. The bonds sold, which was good. Um, but how long can that continue?
Right.
So I think we're in an interesting spot, and hopefully the numbers come out and the data comes out, and the Fed, if they don't change in December, they'll probably go in January. So it won't be like the end of the world, but at least for us in the short term, it's gonna be a rocky December if they don't cut.
Right.
Now,
It's so interesting how things change too, right? We're kind of thinking, a couple months ago, now it's a little different picture, right?
I was just thinking about this morning. I was like, we were talking on the show. We're like, oh man, we definitely know exactly what the market's going to do. It's so weird that it's very hard to be in that situation where you know exactly what the market's going to do. You know exactly what to play. And that is now changed. I was like, ah, dang it.
I know it was like everything was adding up, right? Everything. And now
hmm
there's some question marks, right? And we still have some time, right? That it could grind up, but we'll see. It really depends on the Fed and what they decide. And the liquidity really, it comes down to its liquidity in the market, right?
Yep. And so from like a trading point of view, it goes back to, all right, we need to go back to the basics, right?
Hmm.
So for a little bit, I was like, okay, I'm very bullish. I'm positioned bullish. I'm in these 3 times X leveraged ETFs and whatnot. Well, it's time to cut back. Because we don't
Yeah.
know if they're going up or down or whatnot. And so it's time to cut back on those, and it's time to play what's working and go back to basics. You know, putting on some more layups and being like, okay, let me see if I can find some call spreads in this. And they're available. They're out there now. They were hard to find before, but now they're
They
not that
were.
hard.
There were very few call spreads out there for a while. So those are starting to creep back into the picture. And that's what I love about trading is that it's like surfing. You surf that wave, the wave changes, you just adapt to it, right? You just adapt to the conditions that are there. So
hmm
um, make money no matter what way the market's going.
Yep. And then you can easily, if you do get in trouble, you can push it along, roll it along, and like I'm doing now with my naked puts on Meta and Netflix. They're both underwater. They're in the money. Um, but yeah, I keep pushing them out in time, until the stock either comes back or I decide I've had enough and I'm gonna move on and take my loss. Um, but yeah, they're underwater right now. but they can come back. And so right now it's just a matter of, okay, every time I roll them, I'm collecting more money. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm investing in a bond or something. So I put up a certain amount of capital and I get a certain amount of interest. And then I just roll it again, get more interest, roll it again, get more interest. Obviously, it's less interest because it's in the money.
Right.
But if the stock does turn around and go higher for whatever reason, then the loss will go down substantially very fast. So, and these are two companies that even if I do get assigned eventually, I'm going to hold on to. So,
Yeah, I think
not that big a
they have
deal.
a great future ahead of them for
Hmm.
sure.
Yep. Cool. Now, the title of today's show, which I've named as "This Stock is Going to Double in 2026."
Okay.
So this stock is going to double in 2026. I'll give you a shot. What do you think it is? And you're never going to guess, but it's like, okay, hey, let's just play.
Hmm. This stock is going to double in
Or you know what?
2020.
I'll give you five. I'll give you five. Pick five stocks that you think might double in 2026.
Put me on the spot. Hmm.
Yes, I did. I put you right on the spot.
2026.
So next year, right? You got a year. So it's probably a stock. I'll give you some hints. It's a stock that has done well recently. It has had some good news recently, and um, it's a big company. It's not a small company. It's not like, and it's not something that has been in the news a lot. Well, actually, everybody's heard of this company, and a lot of people use this product. They have a lot of products,
Hmm.
but their main, the most talked about product, people use it. It's been a life changer for a lot of people that have used it. Um,
My mind's
and
going all over the place right now. I'm just kind of going off the market. Like, boom, and boom, boom, boom.
so it is,
All right,
it's definitely a,
I'm gonna throw one out there.
okay.
All right. I could be totally wrong. Uber.
No, no.
There you go.
So let's take a look. Uber. Okay. Can Uber double in 2026? What would be the
Okay.
catalyst for Uber? Well, I think the biggest catalyst for Uber would be if they were, rolling out into a lot more cities, which
Hmm.
I don't know if they are. I'm not following the company, so I don't know. Um, but I think the biggest thing that they're looking forward to is the robo taxi, so that they don't have to pay the the drivers anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and
Be
so
huge.
if they can, which they have, they've been doing deals with car companies. But I think like Tesla's coming out with their own um, cyber cab, right? Which they call it, but it is a new model. It's not the models that are on the street, which was interesting. I was like, they're making a whole new
Yeah.
car that's going to be the cyber cab. And for me, at least, I would think that Tesla doesn't need Uber,
No, they don't.
right? They can make their own app, and that's all it is. Uber is basically an app. Anybody can make an app. So if you don't need the drivers, then all you need is the customers. And Tesla has plenty of mind share and PR ability to just say, "Hey, download the Tesla app and get your car,"
No.
and people will do it in droves. Um, so I don't think Uber is going to double.
All right. So maybe I was thinking more like an energy stock probably.
Energy stocks, I would say they definitely can. They had a good year this year. That's not the answer, so I'll let you keep thinking.
Yeah.
But energy stocks have had a good year this year, and they're going to need more and more energy. Energy prices are going up as these data centers are being built, and they're being built like all around the country. Several of them here in Texas, where I'm at, because there's plenty of land and cheaper electricity. But energy prices have been going up. I think the big sticking point for energy will be the grid. The grid can't hold much more energy. And
Yeah.
so that might keep a damper on how much they can actually sell revenue wise, unless they make like, special connections to something. But um, that would be an interesting one. Uh, but that's not it either. So, I mean, there's a couple, maybe like Bloom Energy, some of those. They might. Uh, the nuclear stocks might double, def for sure. It's not the answer is not nuclear. I don't know. But the nuclear stocks definitely could double next year as we need more
I
and
was
more
going
energy.
next, so I'm just
Yeah.
striking out on
So
your
it's not, well, you got two more choices. Two more choices. We do talk about it. I talk about this stock on the show. I have talked about it several times.
I see
Um,
that you talk a lot about gold. So
but gold, yeah. So, but gold is not a product that has like made people's lives better.
I know
So
that's true.
that one didn't work. Um, Gold, I am down on gold. Like I don't know how you get down on gold,
It's starting
but
to come
I'm
back though.
losing money on gold.
Really?
So
Still right now?
I am down. Yes. Thanks to the futures.
Yeah.
The futures are very leveraged and they can make big moves in no time. So yeah, I am down on gold. So I'm hoping it'll turn around. And if the Fed does not cut, then I don't know what's going to happen to gold either. So we'll see what happens.
I think
Um,
you let your thesis play out there. You try to.
I pushed it too far, and now I'm like, uh-oh, I'm stuck. I should have been a little bit more cautious.
Yes.
Um, so you got two more choices, and um,
Hmm.
all right, I'll give you another hint. It
Go ahead.
has to do with healthcare.
Okay. So like a Eli Lilly or a
Ding, ding, ding,
Pfizer
ding.
or
No, you got it. Eli Lilly.
Eli
That's the
Lilly. I
thing.
should have known from the beginning. I should have known this.
That is the one that I think is going to double in price. Currently, it is sitting
Like a
at
thousand dollar
around
stock.
1,029 today.
Okay,
All
very.
time high, just passed the threshold of 1,000. First time ever it's ever been over $1,000. It had some big news coming out. They made a deal with Trump to offer it in Medicare, Medicaid at a reduced price, which is not really a reduced price. They're still making boatloads of money. Um, and they're coming out with an oral next year so that you don't have to take a shot. You could just eat it. And
I would like
because
that. I like
and
shots. I'd rather take it.
and because of the price, it does look like that they might actually go and do a stock split
Ooh.
because they've crossed $1,000 for the first time. Most of the time, companies will do a stock split if they go over 100 or sorry, 500. That becomes kind of the like, oh, hey, they might split. They've talked about it. And so it looks like they might actually pull the plug sometime soon because it's just rocketing higher. If you take a look at the chart right now, the last few days, it's just been moving higher and higher. And so I think, if it's a threshold stock, it's going to go to 1,100,
Mhm.
probably higher. If it has a stock split, that might add another 10, 20%. Um, there was a research report out that large cap big companies, by the time they announce the split and the split actually happens, the stock gains on average about 12%.
12%. Yeah.
Yeah. So last time Tesla did a split, they were up like 25%, 26%, but average is about 12%. So they might, so that might add another few percentage points there. The oral will come out, that'll add some more there. They have more um, volume or more product to get out there. Like in the past, they didn't have enough product. And so all these other companies were ripping them off, the compounding pharmacies and whatnot. That's all kind of gone downhill. And if you want the Monjaro, you got to go to Eli Lilly.
So they're looking like
And
the number one.
they're looking like number one. And Novo Nordisk is like falling by the wayside. They're having serious trouble.
Yeah, and they were
Um,
like neck and neck for a while.
they were in the lead.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
were in the lead.
they were like
Uh,
the stock, yeah.
And so the CEO of Novo quit. Now the board is having issues. They just lost a bidding war with Pfizer for another pharmaceutical company that has some type of weight loss drug. It's still 2, 3, 4 years before it comes out, but now Pfizer is getting into the mix, but Novo needed it,
I read
and
about that actually. That Pfizer sweetened the deal, and then they went ahead with it. So
hmm
yeah. Hmm.
yeah, so Novo's having a lot of issues, and Eli is just taking share from them. And they're going, the only downside for them is that in other countries like China and India, their patent expires in a year or two. And so generics will be able to come on board.
Yeah, that,
So, you know, their biggest market is the United States. They haven't even gone really to India, China, Asia, Europe. And they're in Europe, but they're still, primarily North America story. And so if they move over to Europe and they have the same success that they've had over here, that'll be a big deal. Asia also. And so I think it could definitely double. I don't know. It might. I think it could. If there's anyone that I'd be betting on, I'd probably say this one. Looking at all the different stories of all the different stocks that are out there, knowing what we know now, I would probably say this one has the best chance of going and doubling. Um,
really. All right.
so that's the one, and that's my biggest stock loser story of the year, where I've lost the most money on a stock.
Now, didn't you go twice into this?
I've been multiple times into
Oh,
this.
what is your what is the love hate with Eli Lilly?
I like the story, it's like, hey, we like as an overweight person.
No, wait.
I'm overweight. I'm definitely overweight. As an overweight person with high cholesterol, and I'm pre-diabetic. So I'm not pre-diabetic, but I'm like on the line of pre-diabetic. Um, I have always wanted, like, hey, can't I just take a pill? Like I gotta exercise and I gotta change my diet. I don't want to do
You
all
gotta
this
do all this
stuff.
effort.
I
Yeah.
don't do all this work. I just want to take a pill. And they came out with a shot. They're like, okay, it's not a pill, but it's a shot.
Mhm.
And so now they're coming out with a pill. Be like, oh, okay,
And
yeah,
obesity is down, right? For the first time, I think in how many years? I think there's a stat on that.
because
It's
of
actually because
because
of
of this
because of this.
stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is really amazing.
hmm and this semaglutide or whatever it's called is
Mhm.
actually a peptide. And these are pretty new in terms of healthcare. So they have peptides for different things. Like, for example, they have one peptide that you can take that will make you darker. So, like, if you're too pale and you want to tan, you take this pill,
You're up in
and,
Minnesota, you just take your
you
little
just,
peptide and
you
you
just
don't need
have
to come down to Florida.
you have a
You don't need to come
tan,
down.
a natural tan. There's another one that helps with inflammation. So anywhere inflammation in the body you have, like if you have a injury or something, you hurt your rotator cuff or your in your knee or whatever, and it's inflamed, you take this pill and the inflammation goes down. And there's so many other ones as well that are coming up. So this is like a brand new area of healthcare and treatment that has very few side effects, but are very powerful in terms of what they can do. So, if Eli Lilly is working in this peptide space, there's a lot of things that they can come up with in the future as well. So I
Yeah.
like but just the weight loss story I thought would be bigger. And it was for a while. It was going up higher, higher, but then something just there was a rotation out of it and the stock just dropped. But later on this year, it's come back. Again, like you said, it's all-time highs right now and moving higher and higher. So the story looks good from here on out for the next year. So I might be getting into some shares. I have not yet. I have been selling naked puts on it for the last 2, 3 weeks, and those have been doing great. So let's
Just
see.
haven't been assigned on them, huh?
No, have not. Not
Yeah.
even close. Not
Keep
even
going up.
close.
What do you
The
do?
stock's been going up every day. I'm afraid now, looking at the chart, like it's been up like 5, 6 days in a row. It's like, okay, I don't know about next week. I think I'll wait.
That's when you rely on the thesis that you just laid out, right? So you
hmm
say, you know what? Take a stab on it. Maybe a little pullback and hit it.
Yeah, like we talked about, last show we talked about Buffett and his advice. And in terms of owning a stock, right? You only need a few of them. You don't need 20, 30 stocks to own long term. You only need a few that you really like the story, has good fundamentals, and it just churns higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
Um, and I think this might be one of them. It has the ability to run like a tech stock, but it has revenue and a solid base. So, and not just one product. So I think that's my prediction for
I like it.
this.
I like it.
I don't
We're
know.
gonna
We'll see.
bookmark this date and we're gonna say, okay, November 14th, 2025, and let's see. Let's see.
We'll see how it goes.
All right.
But we'll definitely, I know, I'm definitely going to be playing it with naked puts, put spreads, maybe some shares, um, because I got to get that money back. I got to get my money back.
Sure. Beautiful thing though. You know, we always talk about it. Like you're just doing a put on it, right? You're getting paid to essentially, I think of like when you're doing a put, you're hunting for it, right? You can either just, you have two choices. You can buy it at the market price or you can hunt for it so you can get a deal. So try to get that price lower. So that's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool. All right. So, what's going on? What's happening in the markets next week? There's really not much news coming out next week.
Oh, it's there's a few like of course Nvidia will be the big story,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's on the 20th. Is that right?
I don't know. Let's see.
I think so. I check that.
Earnings is on the 19th after the market,
19th.
after
So
the close.
yeah. So midweek, that'll, make it interesting.
Wednesday, yeah.
We have, and then there's a retail like Home Depot, I know is next week, and a couple other ones. So people will start looking at those. Um, but yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
most of the news is out, right? We rely so much on earnings of these companies. So yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier that we had a roller coaster week, but we did have several market power winners.
Yeah, I mean this volatility creates the opportunity, right? So as in that trade, it's been really, really great lately, right? So
So we've had how many this month in November? Four or
four,
five?
four,
Four trades
four,
already. And then we had some Phoenix lottery hits as well.
a lot of lottery hits along with that. So I think three lottery hits. And one, one I wish I got it. I stayed a little bit longer into because it would have been a nice one. So this past one that we did, it was, I got out a 300 something dollar gain. If
Mm-hmm.
I stayed in, I stayed in, right, which is not always easy to do. It was a gain, I took it. But if I
God,
stayed in,
don't make
it was
excuses.
it would be like 2,500 bucks, 3,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
Oh my God.
But you don't know sometimes. But like I always say, a win is a win. I'm happy with it. But man, that would have been sweet.
Oh my. Oh wow. Yeah, that would have made a big difference. Yep. Okay.
But you
So,
can't
I mean, the power of the Phoenix, it's there. That sucker,
there.
it can
Yeah.
make a, yeah, it can, I mean, that was like, spending $200 to make potential 2,500 in one
Mhm.
day. That's not bad.
It's not bad at all, of course.
You hit one of those a month, that'll make it. And when we do the back test, we hit the lottery ticket about 10% of the time. We hit the lottery on it. So you'll get another shot
Yep.
for sure. So, yeah. So I mean, things are going great. Option Genius wise. The club, we got our group in, the first batch in. They're in there. They're going through the materials. They're posting in the
And
discussion
they're breaking
area.
things, checking things out. This is wrong. That looks good. This is wrong.
Yeah,
And
they're
that's
giving
what we want them to do.
feedback. We got trades rolling in there. People making money on the trades. We had our first coaching calls yesterday, and I mean, overwhelmingly, I think people were excited, and they were. maybe even overwhelmed. I felt a little bit like they were like, oh my God, there's so much stuff in here.
Yeah, I mean, well, think about it. It's like going to I don't know, a Dave and Buster's, going in there and you got all this stuff around you and you get in the door for the first time and you're like, okay, what's over here? What's over here? What's over there? What's over there? So
Uh-huh.
it's getting in the same way. So
Yeah, it kind of takes some time to go around the whole place and see
yeah,
exactly
like
what
I
they
really like
have.
this area and I want to spend my time over here, so it's somewhat of the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's exciting to see.
I'm the type of person that will actually I won't spend any money right away. I'm gonna go look at everything first, maybe a couple
Oh, you're one of
times,
those.
and then I'll
You're a
decide, okay, I'm
rounder.
gonna go here. Yeah, I'm gonna go look at everything. And then I'll spend mostly all my money on like the one or two or three things that I like the best. I'm not gonna go do everything. I know some people they just like, oh, I like this. Okay, now let's do this. Like,
It'd be interesting. It's like going to a fair, right? You're gonna be like, okay, am I gonna walk around the fair and kind of check all the rides out, or am I just gonna start hitting it? You know? So
yeah.
all different people, but it's
Hmm.
it's really nice to see everyone in there. There's a lot of energy, um, really some exciting things that we got going on. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we had one person on the call yesterday. He's like, man, I think I've already gotten my money's worth out of it. And it's been
Mhm.
like 2 weeks, you know?
Uh, it, it
There's
was a
just,
wonderful thing to hear. It's
yeah.
great.
We've had other people, they've had, big realizations, just mind shifts. So I think that's like the biggest thing that I look forward to as a coach, like, you can like, oh, I'm gonna teach you how to do a naked put. Okay. And in the beginning, there's like, oh wow, this is so cool. Somebody for the first time, they're like, oh my God, you can actually do this.
Yeah,
Yay. That's exciting. But then after a while, it kind of gets synonymous. But then when you have that mind shift, that to me is really exciting because then it's like, okay, you had blinkers on or blinders on or whatever. Now the blinders are done. Now you got it, man. Let's go. Put the foot down. We're going 200 miles an hour. We're NASCAR driving now. We're not on the highway anymore. So I'm excited about that. That's what I'm looking forward to. More of those. But yeah, so we're looking good. And then coming up is I'm working on the threshold workshop. So we've talked about it on this on the show for a while. I've been doing a lot of research into the different stocks and how often, they hit the threshold. Does it actually hit the profit target? No, yes. What kind of stocks? Big ones, little ones? How fast? How slow? What happened after they hit the threshold? I mean, there's so much to learn and do research on, but about almost 90% of the time, if a stock, if a S&P 500 stock goes through a threshold, it will hit the profit target about 90% of the time. Now, there are some tricks into how to identify the ones that go there right away versus the ones that take like 8 months.
right.
So
Be
that
a big difference.
yeah. So we got to know how to actually pick the right ones. But eventually they all get there. So I think uh, I think that by itself could be such an amazing strategy. Like, okay, we have, like we were talking about earlier, like, hey, we know when the market's going to do, we can easily make money. Well,
Right.
if
How do
something
you capitalize on it? Right.
Exactly. And that's what this is. Like, okay, this is a technical breakout. And so once you have this breakout, you know it's going to hit the profit target. You know where it's going to go. You can predict it 90% of the time. You got the accuracy, which like until now I have not seen anywhere. Nobody can predict with like 90% accuracy that the stock is going to go from this price to this price. They might say like Warren Buffett, be like, yeah, eventually they'll get there, but you just got to sit back and wait. Well, we don't have to
Right.
wait. We know it's going there. Now, how do we profit from this? What's the best way to make money from it? And I think it's not buy the stock and hold it. I think it's play the options,
Yeah.
which we know how to do. So that's it's exciting. So I'm working on that workshop right now, and we are going to do this for free for everybody. So no charge. It is going to be something that's going to be put in the club, but uh, you know, because we're rolling out the club, we are going to be doing this for free. And for the people who show up live, we're actually going to be giving away a membership in the club. So
Fantastic.
uh, that's gonna be cool. We're gonna have like a little giveaway, and people will be like, "Hey, I want to join!" And then we'll pick somebody, and then somebody will get in for the club, maybe change their life, hopefully. Who knows? But yeah, so that's coming down the pipeline, and there's so many other things coming down the pipeline that I was talking to my wife yesterday, and she's like, "You need to put in more hours." And I'm like, she's like, you got so much stuff to do. When are you gonna get it done? And I'm like, I'm working on it. She goes, nope, you need to start working on the weekends. And I'm like, I don't want to work on the
Like, come
weekends.
on.
She goes, no, when the iron is hot, you gotta strike, and this stuff is hitting. So it's exciting. So yeah, she's right. So I'm gonna be putting on
Woman.
I'm gonna be putting in Saturday hours, Sunday hours, um, and we're building out something that's really exciting. So
Agree. Agree
yep,
fully.
sweet
Absolutely.
beans. All right, let's go ahead. Let's wrap it up. Let's look at the SmackDown.
All right.
And I think you're still the.
All right.
So you're going to share your screen, and we are going to see what's going on with the SmackDown. Again, the SmackDown is our monthly stock picking competition. Anybody that wants to join for free can pick a symbol, and then we'll track how it does. And then whoever has the greatest return from start to finish wins a prize. No purchase necessary. And so far, let's see. This is I see the update. So this is actually as of 11:14. So this is today, a little earlier. And we have in the lead by considerable margin, Brandon Carter with SONN 64% return.
He's extended his lead.
It's gotten bigger in like 2 weeks. This
Yep.
is 2 weeks. This trade has had a 64% return. That's really good. Coming in
Starting
and
to wonder if Brandon has insider information.
coming in second place is D Nut at
Yeah.
15. I mean, that's a pretty good return there by itself. And then we got Parker Hannifin at 8.5. Oh, sorry, I missed one. AGQ, which is I believe it's a gold name, that's up 16, almost 17%. So 1, 2, 3. We got three stocks in double digits. And then do have some that are heading in the opposite direction.
Yep.
Let's see, like BMNR,
Right. That is,
right?
yep. You got the cryptocurrencies.
That's the Ethereum holder. And yeah, Ethereum's going down. They are going to go down as well. Um, and we don't know when the cryptos are going to come back up. So
We don't know, but it could come back quick. We'll see.
maybe, maybe.
Maybe, maybe
I
not.
don't think so anymore. I don't think. I think the volatility is out of
Oh,
the
you're a
crypto
crypto
market.
bear? You're a
I'm not a
crypto
I'm not
bear?
a I'm not a bear. I'm just thinking that it's been taken over by Wall Street. That's just what it is. Like Wall Street has put so much money into it now that they control it. The individual guy, the hodler, they do not anymore. And so if Wall Street wants it to go up, it'll go up. If they want it to go down, it'll go down. And the days of, where it's going to go up 300% in a year, I think that's over. So
Interesting.
so we'll see what happens. But and then yeah, so congratulations, Mr. Carter. You are in the lead for now. We still have 2 weeks. Um, and like I said last time, I mean, if it can go up 60% in 2 weeks, it can go down 60% in two
Certainly
weeks.
could.
So
It certainly
you never
could.
know.
Uh,
It's anybody's game at this point. But yeah, that's a pretty cool one. SONN. Cool beans.
SON.
All right.
All right.
So today is also expiration day for weekly options. Um, I have some good positions that are expiring. My Lily puts are expiring. My Apple puts are expiring. I got some Nugget puts that are expiring. So
Now you got to put them back on.
now I'm thinking about putting them back on. Yes.
All right.
So cool beans. All right. Anything else?
That's it. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend.
Okay. Yeah, next week we got a full week and then we got Thanksgiving after that, right? So short week the week after. Thanksgiving's on the 27th, so market will be closed on the 27th, and then the 28th is a half a day.
Oh, Black Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. that always messes me up. Half a day on the day after
I
Thanksgiving.
know, right? Like,
One
what?
time years ago when I was just learning or when I was just getting into trading, I decided to day trade on the day after Thanksgiving.
I already know where you're going.
And so I put a position on, a very large position, thinking that I'm going to get out before the end of the day. And then the market closed in the middle of the day. And I'm like, refresh, refresh, refresh. Why is it not changing? Why is the price not changing?
You're
What
like,
the hell is going on? And I'm like, the market's closed.
you're like,
Oh
how? Why?
my God. Yeah. I mean, it was like my whole account in one trade. I'm like, oh my God. And so the whole weekend, I was like freaking out. Monday, it opened in my favor. And I'm like, get out, get out, get out, get out.
Oh no, get it. Go, 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 go.
So it worked out, but yeah, you got to know when the market's open, especially if you're day
Yeah.
trading. But
Especially these days, you have all the technology to tell you.
yeah, now, as an option seller, we're probably not even going to look at the markets, so
Yeah.
it's not going to happen. But day trading, totally different story. But cool beans. All right, that's it for today's show. Again, if you have not subscribed already, go ahead do that, please, so
Please.
you can be notified when the next show is. And if you don't know, it's on Wednesday. Wednesday and Friday, 1 p.m.
Wednesday,
Central.
Friday.
We're here live talking, answering questions. And we haven't gotten any questions in a while. So if you have any questions, let us know and we will be happy to answer. And yeah, keep making money. All right.